So this is a really, really special topic this week. Orcas off the coast of Spain and Portugal are attacking and sinking some boats. Um, there were 52 attacks in 2020, and then in 2022, we've seen 200 attacks. So this is only growing. It is something that scientists have a whole bunch of different theories about why it's happening. And we can go into some of those later on in the conversation. But I just kind of want to lay out a little bit about Iberian orcas. They are a unique subpopulation of orcas, and there's only between 30 and 40 of them left in the wild. So it's tragic. And these orcas are, there's a theory that perhaps a female orca named White Gladys was either injured by a boat, an encounter with a boat, or maybe injured with an encounter with a fishing net. And that in response to that, she has started training the calves, the youth orcas, to go after these boats. And they aren't just, randomly hitting them. They are targeting the rudders, pulling the rudders off, and in some cases, showing those rudders to the sailors, the people on the boat afterwards. It is wild. So wild. Maybe I shouldn't front load with too much information here. Just open up the conversation. What do you guys think about all this?
I absolutely love it, Erica. I've been, we've been talking a lot about logos and stuff, and there's been a part of me that's like, why don't we just make orcas the mascot of our show? Like, because what something that people don't understand about orcas and whales in general is that they are highly intelligent species. They are completely sentient creatures. They have language that we can't understand. They communicate with each other, and across the world, many different species of whales can communicate with each other. Like, it is absolutely incredible. They're able to attack the rudders of a ship because they know how to demobilize it. It's absolutely incredible, the level of intelligence we're dealing with here. And I know scientists are definitely divided on exactly what is causing this, but I would very much like to think that this is a defense mechanism, that this is, hey, we're going to fight back against these ships that have been killing us. I hear it said a lot that a lot of them are yachts, which I don't know if orcas, they're intelligent. I don't know if they understand, like, class consciousness or not, but maybe they do. Like, genuinely, maybe they do, because it does seem to be a lot of yachts. But no, it is one of the coolest stories going on right now, and very rarely will I say that, like, a human life is less valuable than another creature, but I'm on Team Orca here, guys. Like, I want them to destroy as many boats as they possibly can.
Absolutely.
Wait, are you trying to say that these boats don't matter? I mean, who's thinking about the boats in this story?
all boats matter, Desmond.
No, honestly, it's been surprising to me that some people were more or less like shocked at how intelligent these creatures are. I mean, just talking about any mammal in particular, like I think sometimes there's a little bit of like arrogance that comes into play with people, thinking that, like, oh, well, humans are the only intelligent species, so on and so forth. But basically every mammal that we've ever come across has something, intense level of intelligence. I mean, in whales, these are massive creatures. I mean, they can get up to be like, what, 14 tons, or is it 7 tons? Excuse me there. Either way, big animals, right? who can live for a really long time. And yeah, I think my favorite part about this story is that the fact that it does seem so strategic. Like, they're not even trying to like topple the boats. They're not trying to like kill anyone, which they could if they chose to. They are literally just disarming the boat and leaving the boat. That's it. They take out the rudders and then they just swim away. And it's amazing to me that it seems so strategic that it almost seems like a prank in a way. But it ought to be
Orca-Strated. sorry.
Title of the episode. It's been decided. But no, I've been really enjoying this, especially seeing them go after the oligarchs better than anyone else possibly could.
Absolutely. And, to your points about their intelligence, I think that is a crucial part of the story. And it is shocking to me that some people don't understand that about orcas, they are not only are they hyper intelligent creatures that can figure out, puzzles, can figure out things, they can also experience emotion to a degree that possibly humans cannot, because the part of their brain that's devoted to processing emotion is larger. It's proportionally larger. So they probably experience the depths and the heights of emotion to degrees that we can't even conceive. So to think that these creatures that can feel so much, that can understand so much about their world, then are watching as their population dwindles to a ridiculous number. Imagine being part of a group and you realize that you and 29 other people are the last people left. And there's another species out there that has been killing off your food source, that has been making the water hotter, that has been, attacking you in their ships, or like they have so much right to defend themselves. And the fact that they are doing it without attacking humans back, but by actually using targeted sabotage. And I understand what I'm doing by using that word. I know that this is controversial, and I know that it borders on anthropomorphization, which people have complicated views about. But I think it's really, really important to be able to understand and recognize parts of ourselves within these creatures that are so sentient, that are so brilliant, that can feel the world more than us. Like, if we can't at least make that leap to understand a little bit of where they're coming from here, like, then is that the same kind of thing that we're going to do in relation to other people? No, like, we need to have, if we want to have empathy and we want to care about anyone else, you need to be able to make those leaps about, why are they doing this thing? Why might they be upset? Why might they be acting out? These orcas have every reason in the world to act out and to retaliate for the conditions that they are living within. So I do not think it's a stretch to say that they are using targeted sabotage against vessels and ripping off their rudders to make sure that they are neutralizing the threat and then moving on peacefully. It just blows my mind to such a huge degree, and it hits me in my heart to like a degree that I can't even explain.
So
Erica,
one quick question though is,
Yeah.
you said that you thought that part of what you were saying right now was controversial. What part?
Well, so a lot of people would say, no, they aren't retaliating. This isn't revenge or retaliation. This isn't a strategy or sabotage or direct action. This is, them playing, or this is a what were the other ideas? This is a fad that they are just doing a thing that, and then they're imitating each other doing that thing.
They're
And
just
it's
eating
just
Tide
gonna,
Pods.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. The kids will move on from this soon. Like, um, apparently though, orcas did have a fad for a while where they were killing salmon and wearing them on their heads. I can't even with this. But so fads are something that does happen within the orca world. But to think that this isn't like, to think that this is just some random behaviors that they're exhibiting and not something that has a purpose and like a plan in place and like a greater purpose serving for their community. Like, I think that is absolutely wrong. And a lot of people going to interpret this will try to say, no, don't anthropomorphize these creatures. That is doing an injustice to them by saying like that they are doing these human behaviors, and you can't make that leap. But I
See,
think it's very important to make that leap.
that's the controversial part, as far as I'm concerned, is trying to make it seem as though these are, human behaviors, as if any mammal with, a developed prefrontal cortex couldn't actually carry out these things in general. I mean, the
Yeah.
thing that distinguishes us more so than other mammals is the fact that our prefrontal cortex is more advanced. It doesn't mean that other mammals don't have one, that they couldn't be capable of doing behavior this way. I mean, we see dogs all the time having, behavior that we think to be more as like human-like. It to be truthfully honest, when we're talking about any kind of animal like this, the idea that human beings have this monopoly on intelligent, behavior is
Mhm.
just that's the controversial thing to me. That seems like that type of thinking, logic, rationale would have been left in the 20th century.
Should have been.
I agree with you there, Desmond. And I don't think there's anything controversial to say that if you recognize that these whales are just as intelligent as humans, at least on the level where they have culture and society and can create fads, right?
Mhm.
If this were like some human village that was being destroyed by, trucks going through it, and they started destroying the trucks, no one would be saying, well, maybe they're just playing with the trucks. No, obviously they're destroying the trucks because
Yeah.
they're being hurt
Yeah.
by the trucks. Maybe
Exactly.
they could be. They could just be playing with the trucks. Like, who knows? But like, it does seem like if this were humans, we would have already been like searching for freedom there, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
this isn't. I don't think it's too much of a stretch. And to put my my film major hat on, spoilers for Avatar: Way of Water for
Mm.
anyone who hasn't seen it yet, but it was made by James Cameron, who is a perfect, like he makes movies and he studies marine creatures and does like deep dives and stuff. And he's done multiple nature documentaries on whales. So actually one of the reasons I know a lot about whales. And in this movie, the whales in this world don't choose not to fight back because they are ideologically opposed to killing. And
Mm.
that's like one of the plot lines in this movie.
Whoa.
And it really makes you think, looking at this situation here, maybe these orcas are an offshoot tribe of orcas who have decided, yeah, screw it. Like, we're usually nonviolent, we eat krill and shit. But like, these guys are killing us. We're gonna fight back. Screw it. And maybe they could have done it the whole time. If anyone's ever seen Star Trek 4 Journey Home, really hoping there's someone in our audience that has. The whole plot of that movie is that there's an alien ship that comes to Earth and is threatening to destroy it, and we can't communicate with it because it communicates only speaking whale, and whales have gone at this point in the future, whales have gone extinct. And like, it is funny, but like, it is something that kind of speaks to this real human part of life, where this is a sentient creature who has a language and a culture that we do not understand, that our species has been slaughtering mercilessly.
Yeah.
And there's comeuppance, like it's justified punishment in a way. It's karmatically fulfilling to see these orcas destroying these like rich people's ships. Like, it just, there's something about it that I think
Totally.
innately speaks to our understanding, in the same way that Star Trek movie did, in the same way that the Avatar movie did. Like, I think that we all kind of understand, even if you didn't know how intelligent whales are, that what we're doing to them is wrong. And so it just feels right to see them fighting back.
Absolutely. And my God, the response from people online, the just outpouring of excitement and enthusiasm and love for these whales, love for these creatures. It's really, really wonderful to see that I'm not the only one that's like excited by the story, that there are thousands, hundreds of thousands of people that are so just moved by this, that they know that there is justification in any kind of retaliation that these animals would take against people, really. And yeah, it's that response from people has given me a lot of hope that there is that kind of like, I keep wanting to say it reaches our humanity, but it's something that we don't have a word for it, like something bigger than humanity, like
Mm-hmm.
our broader nature. It appeals to that, and it really, really touches you. So I don't know. I think it's just such an amazing story. Reading about this, watching videos about this, I came across someone who had been studying the orcas and had actually done a whole bunch of free dives with the orcas to take photos of them. And at one point, a huge orca came around and brought a stingray to the person, tried to basically hand it to them, feet away from the person's face, this massive killer creature, hands this stingray to him, leaves it there for a bit, goes away, When he doesn't eat it, comes back, he like looks at the stingray, looks at the person, looks at the sting. Are you going to eat this, dude? Like, and then like when he doesn't eat it, takes the thing, shares it with another orca. That's what they do. And another story that he told was that he was watching them move in a completely organized, slow procession. And then he noticed that a mother was carrying a dead orca baby. And this was like a funeral procession that he was getting to witness under the water. Like
Wow.
the sacredness of something like that, like it's hard for me to fathom, you know. It gives me chills to think about. And these are the creatures, these majestic, beautiful, brilliant creatures are something that we are taking away from this planet. Like that is an injustice that we should all be you know, ready to just scream about, you know. And I think seeing the orcas doing this gives us an outlet a little bit there.
Yeah, but what about the boats? What about the boats?
What about the boats? Those
Seriously,
are
though.
insured. Some insurance company had to pay out for that, Eric. You're not thinking of the insurance company?
What's the over under there that Fox News later tonight will probably have something about whales going woke,
Oh my God, yes.
trying to eat the rich.
Literally. So,
I
mean, Erica, what you just spoke to there is what we were talking about earlier today with, you know, climate and when do, you know, someone's rights infringe on someone else's. When does your right to hunt an orca infringe upon my right to exist in a world where orcas exist? You know, like how can we claim that like a sentient creature is the property rights of a corporation? It really is like
Gotta ask
wrong.
Tyson that question.
Yeah. But like even like at least like chicken, right? Like, you know, chicken aren't orcas. They don't have this level of emotional understanding and intelligence and culture, which is fine. And I'll have that conversation in a minute now that you prompted me to. But the idea that, oh well, it's the governments would be infringing upon the rights of these whalers if they were to prohibit their hunting of them. And it's like, well, what about my rights to like live with orcas? Like why do the hunters have the right to kill it, but I don't have the right to live with it? And to address that, Desmond, because I just had this conversation yesterday, and this is totally like a high thought, but like animals eat other animals. And if we are saying that we shouldn't eat other animals because they are their own creatures, well, to me, it's like that's putting us above the animals in and of itself, because it is part of nature that animals eat other animals. So to me personally, probably going to piss off some of our vegan audience here, but like it almost seems patronizing to not eat other animals. That's my 2 cents on the matter.
Yeah,
but I'm sure that'll be a hot take with some people.
You know, I promise for our audience that we will have evergreen subjects of animals eating other animals on another day.
Totally. But I wanted to just add a little bit to what you're saying, John. Like, not only is it like your right to exist in a world with orcas, but like these sentient creatures should have rights. If a corporation can have personhood, an orca who can feel vastly, possibly more than humans, and think so strategically and protest its destruction, they should have rights. We should be enshrining their existence we should be protecting their existence in every way possible. So I hope that we see, like with the Montana case that would potentially help to you know, protect the environment. Hopefully there can be legal avenues too to start to protect the rights of these creatures that are so worthy of protection.